We are continuing to look at the May 2024 CSEC Mathematics paper, and we're at question 2. Now, as usual, make sure you try the questions before you work them out. Alright? Now, also share this video with someone. Now, here it says Laura needs to put mesh around 2 seed beds to protect her seedlings. Okay. Altogether, she uses 60-meter mesh. 60 meters of mesh. One of the seed beds is a rectangle and the other is a square as shown in the diagram. Alright. The width of the rectangular seed bed is x. So you can see it here. The length of the rectangular seed bed is 3 times its width. Alright, so if it is 3 times the width, then it would be 3 multiplied by x, which we call 3x. Alright? So you see that there. The length of the sides of the square seedbed is y. Okay, you see that. So that means here, she runs the mesh along here. One piece of mesh going this way, and turn the corner and mesh it right around. Well, with this one, same thing. She runs the mesh all the way around. Alright? Now, using the information given above, derive a simplified equation for y in terms of x. That means y is equal to something another with x. Some number, whether plus x minus x divided by x times x, whatever it is. So, you should pause the video and go ahead with that. Okay, you're finished? Nice. Now, here, remember, the total length is 60 meters. So, you go, say we start here, go down, that is x meter, x plus, then run along this side, that's 3x, alright, plus, run along this side, that's another x, plus, run along this side, that's another 3x, alright? Plus, she runs a mesh down here, that is y, plus, run the mesh down here, that's y, up here, plus another y, and going across here, that's another y. Alright. Now, remember what they say. Not an equation, you know. A simplified expression. That means you won't have an equal sign. So, x plus 3x. So you have 1x plus 3x's. Remember, it's really 1x, you know, it's 1x, but you normally leave off the 1. Alright? So it's 1x plus 3x's, that gives you 4x's. Plus another x, that gives you 5x. 5x's and 3x's added together give you 8x's. So it is 8x plus, how many y's you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus 4y. You see that? Now, let's see what else is going on. It gives this. Okay, that's all there is to return this page. Let's see what else here. Part B. So this was just part A. Alright, part B. The area of the rectangular seed bed is equal to the area of the square bed. Interesting. Use this information and your answer in A to write down a quadratic equation in terms of x and show that it simplifies to this x squared minus 6x plus 225. Alright, so the rectangular area of the rectangular seed bed is equal to the area of the square seed bed. What is the area of the rectangular seed bed? Well, if you multiply the length and the width, you get the area. So 3x multiplied by x will give you 3x squared for the rectangle. So the area of the rectangular seed bed is 3x squared. Now, going back, the area of the square seed bed, remember all the sides are equal, they are y. So you multiply length by width, y by y, gives you, what does it give you? It's going to be y squared. So this is equal to this. Remember the 3x squared is the area of the rectangular seed bed, and the y squared is the area of the square seed bed, and they are equal. Alright. Now, in addition, we're going to also use the answer that we got here, going right around. We have 8x plus 4y. Now, what does that all add up to? It's the total length of the mesh, and it is 60 meters. So you're going to write that 8x, remember, you got this from adding up the length of the seed bed around the rectangle and the square, right? So what you will have is 8x plus 4y is equal to what? Equal to 60, of course. 8x plus 4y is equal to 60. So 8x plus 4y equals 60. Alright? Now, how are you going to deal with all this? Here, what you can do is transpose for y. Suppose you do that. You're going to combine these two equations together, right? Now, you may think of different ways. Suppose, for example, you find the square root of y and the square root of 3x squared. What that would be the square root of y squared. So you have 3x squared equal y squared, and you could say you find the square root of both sides, and it would be the square root of 3x squared equals y, because the square root of y squared is y. And then you substitute it in here, and you say 8x plus 4 times y, but y is the square root of 3x squared equals 60. This looks a bit awkward. I'm sure it's not going to work out too well. So what we do, let us transpose the second equation for y and put it here. Alright? Let's work it out over here. So in the second equation, 8x plus 4y equals 60. Let's transpose for y. We have 8x plus 4y equals 60. Let's say we subtract 8x from both sides. So we have 4y is equal to 60 minus 8x. You see that? We take 8x from the left and take 8x from the right. So 8x minus 8x, that is gone. And we have the 4y left. 4y equals 60 minus 8x. And if we divide both sides by 4, we're going to get y equals 60 minus 8x over 4. Alright? Because we put this over 4 and this over 4. 4 will cancel 4. See that? Alright. So, y is equal to 60 minus 8x. At the same time, we see that 3x squared equals y squared. So 3x squared is equal to y squared. Let's put it there. So since 3x squared equals y squared, this y, we're going to put it right here and square it. But it is the same thing as this. You see that? So what we're going to do is say that 3x squared is equal to 60 minus 8x over 4 all squared. See that? So we have 3x squared is equal to. Now, when you have it like this, remember, you can separate the two parts. So you have 60 minus 8x squared over 4 squared. When you have one term divided by another and everything is squared, you can just say the top squared over the bottom squared. Now remember, one misconception here you should avoid. You see 60 minus 8x all squared. It is not equal to 60 squared minus 8x squared. It's not that. That's wrong. Alright? So don't try that. So what we have now is that 3x squared is equal to 60 minus 8x. 60 minus 8x squared means 60 minus 8x times 60 minus 8x, alright? Over 16. You see that? If you now multiply both sides by 16, this is multiplied by 16 and it will cancel. And this multiply by 16. You see that? 16 by 3 is what? 3, 6, 18. Bring down the 8. Carry 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4. 48 x squared. Alright? Equal. Now this is 60 by 60. Remember to multiply two items like that in bracket. 6, 36. 3, 600 plus 60 times negative 8x. 6, 8, 48. So it's negative 480x. Then negative 8x times 60 is negative 86480x. And negative 8x times negative 8x. If you positive, that's a plus 8864. 64x squared. Alright? Now, simplify it. You have 48 x squared equals 3600 negative 480 minus 480 is what? We're at home. With your calculator. Did you get 960? So we minus 960x plus 64x squared. Alright? Now let's put everything on the left. Let's subtract everything on the right over to the left. We have 48x squared. If we minus 64x squared from both sides, 64x squared will subtract itself on the right, and it will be minus 64x squared. Remember, you should pause the video some of the time and continue the question, you know. If you're stuck, you can go on and watch the next part of the video, but pause it again and try to come to the next step. And when you're finished watching, make sure you redo the entire question by yourself without watching the video, without seeking any help, as practice. Alright? The x parts now. What you would have to do is add 960 to both sides. So if you have negative 960x plus 960x, you add 960x to both sides, it will disappear from the right hand side and go as plus 960x on the left. Alright? Then you subtract 3600 from both sides. You minus 3600 from the left, and it will minus itself from the right. And then you'll have equals 0 because nothing else is left on the right hand side of the equation, right? Alright, so you subtract all of that. Then you say 48x squared minus 64x squared. What is that? 48 minus 64 is, or add out on the calculator, what do you get? Negative 16. So you have negative 16x squared plus 960x minus 3600 equals 0. After that, you divide by negative 16. You're going to have this over negative 16, this over negative 16, this over negative 16. So that you have x squared, because what they say, you should simplify it so you have x squared. It will start with positive x squared. So what's going to happen here now? You divide this and you get x squared, then the 960 over negative 16 will give you what? Negative 60 is minus 60x, and then negative 3600 over negative 16 give you what? 225 will be plus 225 equals 0. You have x squared minus 60x plus 225 equals 0. X squared minus 60x plus 225 equals 0. Ah, good. X squared minus 60x plus 225 equals 0. Good. So that was done. Alright? And then, after that, they say calculate the total area of the two seed beds. Oh. So, you have the area of the two seed beds. For the rectangle, it was 3x squared. For the thing there, the square, it was y. Now, here, what we're going to have to do is to find out what x is. Once we know what x is, then we can work from there. Alright, so if you look at the formula sheet, you could use the quadratic formula. It says x equal negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So x equal No, you have to identify what A is, what B is, what C is here. Remember, the general form of the equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Now, the number that multiplies x squared is a. What is a? It is 1 because it's really 1x squared. So a is 1. What is b? Which number multiplies x? Well, it's not 60, it is negative 60. Because this can be written, remember, it's plus bx. This can be written as plus negative 60x. So b is negative 60. Now c is, of course, 225. So x equal negative b. Negative 60 is positive 60. Plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is negative 60 squared, minus 4 times 1 times c, which is 225, all over 2 times 1. Alright? So x equals 60 plus or minus the square root of what? 60 squared is 3,600. And minus 4 by 1 by 225. What is 4 by 225? Work it out. 4 times 225 gives you what? Work it on the calculator. You get 900. 900 all over 2 ones 2. That gives you 60 plus or minus. Now 3,600 minus 900. What do you get when you work it out on the calculator? You get 2,700. Right? Let us just square root the 2,700. Or we could just write it square root of 2,700 over 2. Alright? Alright. So x equals. So when you square root the 2,700, you have 60 plus or minus square root of 2,700, 51.962. 51.962 when you do that. I'm keeping to at least 3 decimal places. When I finish, I can round off to less accuracy. So x would be equal to, alright, in one case it is 60 plus 51.962 and divide that by 2. What do you get? 55.981. X is 55.981. And the other value is when it says 60 minus 51.962. And then you divide by 2. So x can also be 4.019. 4.019. Those are two values of x. Now, let us see what's going on here. So, here now, you say x equal, alright, we have x already, we don't need that again. I have to just try and remember what it is. The area of the rectangle is 3x squared. So I call it A rect. Area of the rectangle would be 3 times x squared. Let's use the 55.981. Oh, by the way, x is 55.981. Alright. We have two values of x. Let's see which one of them might make sense and which one of them wouldn't. If the the thing is that the length, the total length of the what do you call it, the mesh or the netting is 60. All right. Where's the question? They say 60. No. Here it is. 3 times x. Oh, 8x plus 4y. If you have 8 times x in getting around it, 8 multiplied by 55.981. So 8 times 55.981 is already 400 and odd. This can't work. Yeah, this 55 point something cannot work. Because if x is 55 point odd, call it 56. 3 times that, it already far past the 60. Alright? And the total length of the, what do you call it? Mesh, yeah. Total length of the mesh is 60. So it can't be more than 60. So let's cross that off. Let's use x equals 4.019. Alright. So 4.019. Area of the rectangle is 3 times 4.019. That is 3 times x. And you multiply that now. That's the length, you know. The width is x. Right? So you multiply that times 4.019. Alright? Because remember, it's 3x squared. So the area of the rectangle, multiply that with on the calculator. 3 times 4.019 times 4.019. What do you get? I get 48.457. 48.457. Alright, that's the area of the rectangle. Now the area of the square is equal to what? Now here, area of the square is y squared. But what is y? It is this. We know x, so we're going to substitute it in this. Y equals 60 minus 8x over 4. So it's 60 minus 8x over 4. And all of that squared. Now, we know that x, and by the way, we had squared it already. Yeah, we squared it before. But let's use this. We know x already. So just put in the 4.019 into it. Is equal to 60 minus 8 times 4.019 all squared over, well, we would have to square the 4 too. Over 4. Everything squared. Equal. Now, here, 60 minus, work it out on a calculator, 60 minus 8 times 4.019 equal. And then that over 4 equal. And then that's squared. You get 48.469. 48.469. Alright. Now, if you write them to one decimal place, the area of the rectangle will be 48.5, and the area of the square would be 48.5 to one decimal place. And remember, the question had said both of them are equal, alright? So something here, yeah, both of them are equal. So as you see, they turn out to be equal. 48.5, right? When you write them to one decimal place. That is the end of question. Which question is? Oh, wait, another. Question 2. Right. That's the end of question 2 there. So, we'll do question 3 in our next video.